Okay, so I screwed up big time. In my last video, I was talking about Scarlett Johansson. In that video, I was mentioning how Scarlett Johansson was just cast for the new Batman movie alongside Robert Pattinson, and there was like a 90% chance she was going to be playing Poison Ivy because who else she could be. And then my brain absolutely fogged. I am ashamed as a Batman fan. I didn't realize this, but she is 1000% going to be Andrea Beaumont. In the early 1990s, after Batman 1989 came out with Tim Burton, there was this kind of renaissance to the franchise, so they did Batman the Animated Series, which is still to this day seen as one of the greatest cartoons of all time. Because of the popularity, they decided to do a theatrical release Batman the Animated Series movie called Batman the Mask of the Phantasm, where it had some of the best scenes in the history of Batman, like this origin scene of Batman putting on his mask for the first time. Also had the greatest laugh scene ever for the Joker, played by Mark Hamill of all time, which I'm going to show you right here. And what makes this movie so amazing is it's not about action, but it's actually a love story where Bruce Wayne, right in the early days of him being Batman, before he officially took the cowl, he did fall in love with this woman named Andrea who has a struggled past like he does. So he was actually going to not become Batman. He was going to give it up for love because he was finding happiness, which he never expected. There's this whole tragedy to it where it shows that Bruce was always destined to be Batman and he had to do it, and it does relate to the Joker before he was even the Joker. So you do get a lot of origin shown here, and it's just this really good movie. Sadly, it failed, and the reason it failed was because it came out in 1993, just a year after Batman Returns came out, so people were a little sick of Batman at the time, and the movie bombed, only making $5.8 million on a budget of $6 million, but it is deemed a classic. One person who agreed as a classic is our very own Batman, Robert Pattinson, where Robert Pattinson was asked what his favorite Batman movie is, and instead of saying The Dark Knight or something like that, he said Batman Mask of the Phantasm. The reason Batman Mask of the Phantasm is the perfect movie to inspire the Batman Part 2 is this. With the first Batman movie, we really don't see a good origin on Robert Pattinson's Batman, where it almost felt like we were watching a second movie, not a first movie. But what this does is we can take a lot of flashback scenes so we can better understand this version of Bruce Wayne's character and also maybe understand the Joker. It would also be perfect for Barry Keoghan, who's playing this version of the Joker. And what we do know about his character is him and Bruce Wayne have already been acquainted with him as Batman and him as the Joker. He's already established, but he's still finding himself at the same time. So definitely there could be this way where we can give him the role of the movie as the villain without overdoing it and still taking a lot from Batman Mask of the Phantasm. And there's also just Scarlett Johansson. Just look at her for 1 second right here. And then look at how they drew the character of Andrea in Batman Mask of the Phantasm. They look almost exactly alike. It is literally the perfect casting. Yeah, in my last video on this, I was saying Poison Ivy, but I was just not being creative. I was being basic, and I realized, yeah, it's totally going to be Andrea. That is a perfect way to do this with Mask of the Phantasm. It's perfect for it, and I freaking love that movie. But with that, I'm Charles Pearl. Subscribe.